going on last time, Moth Up? How y'all doing out there? Awesome, awesome. Yeah, today's a big day, big occasions with big stories because of the big reveal. So, a big happy birthday shout out to anyone with one out there. Surprised, I know one of my friends was because she has one today. But I don't think she's as surprised as I was last week, right? Last week, everyone got up on stage, they did their thing, they did it big, and then later on it was put on YouTube. So, once that happened, my mother, I called her up and I told her everything. She was all excited. She was like, Dwayne! Oh my goodness, my baby made it all the way to YouTube! And I'm sitting there like, yeah, Mom, I made it to YouTube. And then she was like, well, you just don't know how excited I am. I told your dad, I told your brothers and sisters, all my friends, Geico, the co-workers, and I'm like, Geico? Mom, why did you call Geico? I don't know, baby. I was just so excited. So I was like, okay. Well, then the thing came out for this month, big. And I was sitting at work thinking, man, big, everything. I don't have anything to talk about. And then I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, well, I can talk about my big heart. I can talk about my big mouth. Which, by the way, my wife loves to tell me that it's the perfect size for my foot. And I guess that just came out, now that we're married. Well, then it hit me. I can talk about the biggest part of me. So, okay, hold on, y'all. I'm a married man. Y'all gonna get me in trouble, okay, when my wife sees this. Well, what happened was, I said to myself, okay, I can talk about my wife because I love her to death. She is the biggest part of my life. She's the love of my life. She's everything to me, right? And so I was like, yeah, that would be great. And then I started thinking about the times that we shared together, the times when I got abducted by people out in Tennessee, the times when we were in tech school and basic training together. We joined at the same time. We had so much memories that we made, so much time we shared together. In 3 years we've been together. So one day we decided, hey, I love you, you love me, let's go ahead and do this thing. So we go ahead, we get married, we hitch it up, and Lord, as a married man, life has not been the same ever since. I won't lie though, I won't lie, it's been amazing. We got married March 21st, 2011, thank the Lord, because I almost forgot, didn't want to forget on video. Well, Lord, that would have been horrible, I promise you, right? If I would have forgot our anniversary date on video, that would have been horrible. Well, one day, when we were in basic training, we ended up graduating, going to tech school. And we got to tech school and we met up with a TI. Well, technical instructor, and these guys were, big, and they were all in charge, and would tell people what to do all the time. So one day, I remember we had this time where we were holding hands, like couples do in tech school, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, this guy caught us, and we're like, oh snap, he caught us. So he comes over, he's walking to us, and he's like, excuse me, what is that on my scene? I'm like, what is that I mean? You sing? What did you just say? And so he's like, you know what, don't mess with me. You know what I said. What are you guys doing? I'm like, sir, we're just, being together. And he was like, no, that's not allowed. Now, what would happen if I start writing up? Well, first off, this guy apparently had a speech impediment. And I have a smart mouth, everybody. I really do. And I didn't want to get on his bad side. Well, finally, he goes, well, I have this write-up form. What do you think I should do with it? I was like, I don't know, sir. I have no idea what you should do with it. And so he was like, he looks at my wife and he goes, well, do you have anything to say? And she's just sitting there shocked because she's not a troublemaker. Neither am I, but come on. Well, then he looks back at me and was like, well, do you have anything else to say? I'm like, sir, well, I just figured you weren't paying attention, so I decided we should just do whatever. He was like, oh, really? And I'm like, really? Well, meanwhile, my wife is on the side of me just looking, and she's like, oh my goodness, is he really saying this? Well, regardless, we didn't get in trouble at all. Well, later on, when we got married back home in Columbus, Georgia. And it was great. It was the best thing ever. I remember we were at the courthouse, and the judge, he was a very interesting guy. You know, he was trying to be funny and everything. We're trying to have a serious moment. You know, he's trying to crack jokes, and we're like, sir, we just want to be married. But I don't know if he got the point. Well, later on, as we ended up sometime later going to my brother's graduation, you all know the story, how I was abducted and Nightshade had to come save me. Well, my wife, she on her way up there, a truck had flipped while she was driving. And so when she told me this, I was like, no way. I turned to my mom and she was like, yes, this is exactly what happened. So her little 4'11" self gets out the car, goes to the truck, climbs on top, opens the door, take the guy, get him out the truck, starts performing first aid on him until the ambulance showed up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you were on your way to rescue me and you rescued somebody else? That's crazy. Well, everything, you know, is great. Everything is good. But when we were there, and I ended up coming back to Illinois, she was staying over there. We do Skype a whole lot. Oh my goodness, we do Skype a lot. And I will tell you all this: a good husband would know who really runs the household, right, ladies? The kings of the castle, naturally. Yeah, the kings, right? Because sometimes she tries to have her moments where, you know, she wants to try to get all tough and show who's in charge, right? We're laying down and we were having some conversation. You know, couples are always arguing about the most trivial things. I kid you not. We were arguing about something silly as GPA. And I'm like, and she was crying. And I was like, baby, what's wrong? And she was like, baby, I got a 3.9. I'm like, sweetheart, that's a good thing. No, it isn't. I want to get a 4.0. And then I'm like, well, sweetheart, you know, some people can get 4.2s. You're a liar. I'm like, baby, what do you mean? I'm not lying. Some people can do that. Like, no, you don't love me anymore. Baby, we just got married last month. Oh, God. It's a mess. It is. Being a newlywed is something else. It really is. It sends you on those adventures. It helps you test one another so you can get a feel for one another. Sometimes we do get a little mad. And I know one time we had this argument about, you know, the whole sleeping on the couch and yada, 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 which is something I refuse to do. Don't get me wrong. I have a comfortable couch. I really do. But like I told her, we paid for everything together. So if I want to sleep on the couch, you can sleep on that couch. Otherwise, you sleep on that side of the bed, I sleep on that side of the bed, and we'll call it a day, right? And then she goes, well, whatever. You know, like she has attitude. So I'm like, okay, you know, keep talking, and I'm going to go sleep somewhere else. And she looked at me. What did you just say? I'm like, crap, what did I just say? And then she was like, oh, really? And I'm like, well, yeah. You know, once you realize, you know, that you already crossed that line, you just keep it going and pray to the Lord it'll end pretty, right? And so I was like, yeah, I'll sleep somewhere else. Go ahead and push me. And then she was like, okay, then what will happen? Because you know what? I'm about to go ahead and kick you out of this bed now. You know, I was like, fine. In fact, if you do that, watch. I'm just going to get up, walk around. I'm going to sleep on your side of the bed. Play with me. She already knows. I told her sometimes I won't. I love my wife. I do. She used to do MMA and so on and so forth. But she bruises easily. So I was like, okay, you know, when you get here, don't even worry about it. Because the moment you make me mad, I'm going to come up to you, baby. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to pull you real close. And I'm going to give you the biggest hickey on your forehead. And then you're going to have to walk around like that. So she already knows. She already knows. That's just the way her and I are. You know, we're just, some people are just made to be together. They really are. They really are. Now, nothing to say about our heights, you know, me being 5'5" and her being 4'9", but 4'11". But, you know, when you're taking a picture of us, we look like a perfectly average couple, you know, proportional to each other and everything, right? I know when we were in tech school, there's this guy, he was talking about us, and he was secretly trying to get with her, and then he made a comment talking about oh my goodness, you guys are going to have light, bright midgets. I'm like, excuse you? And then he was like, yeah, it's so funny. And I was like, dude, say that one more time and I will drop you in my head. Because we would say that out loud, of course, right? Who does that? Not me. And it was crazy because before all this, before we came back into each other's lives, I moved here and oh my goodness, I was trying hard to find somebody. And you know what? You never know who the right person is until you know. And I call up my mom, you know, and she was like, Dwayne, baby, I need you to find somebody because I want grandbabies. I'm like, Mama, I'm only 22. Why do you want grandbabies right now? She was like, you don't understand, sweetheart. I miss y'all. You're no longer in the home, and I just want grandbabies. I'm like, Mom, I just moved here, okay? You have women that are older than me, women that are younger than me. You have women that look at me like a friend or brother, and then you have hoochies. And then she was like, Dwayne, you can deal with that, can't you? I'm like, Mama, are you serious? She was like, I just want a grandbaby. I'm like, Mama, I'm not about to get with a hoochie and give you a grandbaby. You want to have a grandbaby that's half black, half hoochie. Who wants a grandbaby that's half black, half hoochie? I'm telling you, my mom and my wife, they keep me going, but I love them to death. I love them.